Yeah, I just wanted to ask you how you define gamer, because you say gamer a lot in your videos. You say he's not a true gamer, or what it is to be a real gamer. So how do you define gamer?
A real gamer is an OG, an original gamer, not people that have come in, this generation playing games and stuff like that. We're the people who have always had an active interest in gaming, and we know for a fact, what happens behind the scenes. We have a bit more knowledge about, instead of, like your mom playing Wii Fit and everything, or your dad playing Wii Sports. We are the OGs, the original gamers.
Okay.
But we have come to a point where we can't simply just go out and buy whatever we want to buy, because our hobby is being threatened by capitalism.
All right.
And as OGs, we should be trying to preserve our gaming.
All right. So obviously you have a huge problem with capitalism.
Yes, I do.
All right. Okay. All right. Just to let you know a little about me. My nickname is Turo. You can call me Turo, and I work for Gamestop, as I said.
Okay.
All right. So you have a problem with people calling themselves gamers who buy consoles and or buy Xbox 360 and use consoles regularly instead of PCs to play games, right?
No, people who aren't gamers are those that actively support companies that are cheating gamers, and they know about it.
All right, so this is actually more about cheating gamers than it is about consoles versus PCs. I mean, I'm trying to understand what you have a problem with. Is it the gaming industry, or is it
I have problems with gamers that know of the issues behind a publisher or developer, but they still support them even though they practice bad business practices.
All right. So obviously you have a very different definition of what bad business policy. Is that what you said? Bad business policy is?
Bad business practices, yes.
Practices, right. So I think I would define that as making money.
I knew that was coming.
Right.
Let me guess. All businesses are out to make money.
Well, I mean, isn't that what you're saying?
Yes, but here's the difference. Some businesses are out to cheat the gamer to make even more money.
All right.
Some companies put out a quality product and have quality support, and the gamers follow suit by supporting them for doing something good for us.
All right. So, what do you find the problem in these companies? Like, what exactly are you doing? Are they doing that? Yeah, I know you mentioned OnDiscDLC. That really bothers you? Is that all that bothers you?
No, that's not all that bothers me. There's a lot of things these companies are doing that bother me.
All right. So with OnDiscDLC, you know that it's about the money, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So you have a problem with companies making money?
I have a problem with companies cheating the gamers to make money. Are you saying that you have no problem with Capcom having all those characters locked away on the disc and charging $20 for them?
You know, what I'm saying is that it's about money. And yeah, from the gamer's perspective, it sucks, but that's too bad.
So we should just keep our mouths shut and hand over our money?
No, but opening your mouth is not going to change the industry. You're not going to do anything just because you complain about it.
So by educating other people on bad business practices isn't a good thing. Because it's not going to change anything.
But see, this, you know that they're all, these companies are capitalists. They don't have any problem with it. There is no problem with it in their eyes.
Yeah, because they want to make money and they don't care about us.
So So you said in your video, who pays the bills of the gaming companies? That the gamers pay the bills of the gaming companies, and that it's the gamers that deserve a say in what the game companies do?
Yes.
I don't think I can't think of a time where it's ever been about the customer. I can see where it's been about the game and the content and the quality of the content, but when it comes to the when it comes to the customer, I've never seen a gaming company really take interest in what they had to say.
So, wow. So Sucker Punch didn't change the way Cold looks because the fans said they didn't like it?
You're talking about the movie?
Infamous 2 for the PS3. So EA didn't release DRM removal tools because all the PC gamers said that sucks and we're not buying your games.
I'm talking about but see, those are the things that aren't really about money. It is focusing on money, but not in the same way. There's a difference between making money by locking stuff away on a disk and then selling it for however amount.
What you just told me was that you don't know of any instance when developers have taken an interest in what the gamers want.
I meant it as yeah, I did say that. I meant it as they didn't take an interest in what the gamers had to say about how they made money, like a DLC or OnDiscDLC.
So you're saying that companies don't listen to what gamers say regarding how they make their money?
No, not usually.
Is that why Capcom and BioWare forums, that's why the moderators are deleting every topic that says, what you did sucks, you need to treat us better? Is that why they have to censor their gamers in their own forums? Because they don't care?
Yeah, they don't care, right? So they're deleting the comments because they don't care.
But obviously, they have to hear what they're saying in order to delete.
If they're deleting what's on the forums, then they don't care. If they did care, they'd reply, right? And say, hey, we're sorry about this?
They're not going to say they're sorry. They're going to give excuses. That's what Capcom has done. That's what BioWare has done. That's what a lot of companies have done. They've given excuses.
Okay. So I guess in terms of
like, for example, one of the guys from BioWare said all the data that you get in the like the character and the DLC, none of it is on the disc and blah blah blah. But it's been proven that the actual character is on the disc. And if you have the PC version, you change one little line of code in one of the little documents, you can actually unlock them that way. When they claim that all that work was done when the game was already be authenticated.
Yeah, that's a problem, but that doesn't change anything. I mean, that doesn't change the way that they're going to distribute their DLC or what they call DLC.
So letting them know that we're disgruntled by their business practices is useless, and we shouldn't do it.
I think that it doesn't usually do anything. I don't think that somebody on YouTube like you can make a difference when it comes to that at all.
You know, if people had your attitude throughout history, America would be in a lot of trouble.
America is in a lot of trouble.
I mean, they are now, but if black people had that same attitude, if the colonists had that same attitude, nothing would have been done.
Look, I think that you're taking gaming a little too seriously. You're talking about a nation being formed, and I'm talking about...
I'm talking about the attitude of they're not going to care, and we should just not say anything in the first place because what we say or do is not going to make a difference.
No, I'm not saying that you shouldn't say these things. I'm just saying that it won't make a difference.
Well, if that's how you feel, why does it matter? Because that's your opinion.
It's not about the opinion. It's about what's happened. You can see the trend of changing the way that the gaming industry distributes DLC and content to the gamers. They changed it. Let's see. It was just plain DLC. Now it's OnDiscDLC, and they're gonna think of something else once you complain about OnDiscDLC enough. But I'm saying it doesn't change anything. Business tactics are business tactics. You're not going to change what the industry does to put content out there.
Microsoft released Game Windows Live for the same price as Xbox Live yearly, but because PC gamers said no, they took off the charge for Games Windows Live. I think that's a big difference in, you know, a policy. It's taking away a charge for a service.
I haven't seen the news on that ever.
It happened quite a while ago. It happened a long time ago. Just Google it. Google it.
Okay, what should I Google?
Games Windows Live subscription. Let's just try that.
Right, so the article that I'm looking at simply says that they just announced that it was free of charge.
July 22nd of 2008, Microsoft announced at Game Fest that Games Windows Live is now free of charge.
Right, that's on Wikipedia, and what I'm saying is it doesn't say because gamers complained. I mean, do you have the article that says...
Why do you think Microsoft would take off a subscription charge for Games Windows Live? Tell me.
I don't know. I'm saying I don't know. Like, show me the article in which it says they took it off because gamers were pissed off at that.
I know this because I was there. I was among those gamers that said we're not going to pay like the 360 fanboys to play our games multiplayer online.
Right, but you're not a source.
Oh, I'm not a source because I was there?
No, like you're not...
Because I was a part of it?
Like, no. If it was like, hey, I just went to the bathroom and took a massive crap, alright, that's not a source for that, alright? It's like saying, hey, I went to a convention and
so basically what you're saying, out the kindness of their heart, they took off the subscription charge.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't know what was behind Microsoft's deal to take off the charge for the subscription. What I'm saying is I don't know, and I'm saying you don't know, because you're not giving me an article that says it took off the subscription because gamers were angry.
So you're saying if you release a subscription-based service and nobody used it, nobody wanted to pay for it because there was better alternatives out there, you wouldn't take off the subscription?
I'm sorry, what?
If you were Microsoft and you released a service that you had to get charged for, and nobody used it because nobody wanted to pay yearly to play games, multiplayer, online, when there are other services that do it for free, you're saying that you would stick to having that subscription on there because no one
You're
told
talking
you
about
otherwise.
like versus Steam, right?
Well,
Like versus Steam,
other
there's no
services
charge.
in general. Other services in general.
If nobody was using it, of course not. But that doesn't mean that.
Why do you think nobody was using it?
It's not because of a boycott.
Look, why do you think nobody was using it?
Because they didn't want to pay the monthly charge. But that doesn't.
Because they didn't want to pay the monthly charge. Who didn't want to pay the monthly charge?
That doesn't mean that they were complaining, and that meant that. See, what you said was that gamers complained enough, and you were among the gamers that complained about it.
Yeah, I said I'm not going to pay to play my games online like the Xbox 360 boys.
Oh, you made it sound.
I have alternatives. I can play my games on Steam, GameSpot, whichever other service I want to use.
Okay, you made it sound like you were at some place and said something to somebody, and you were among the. So basically, you just sat on your ass and didn't pay for anything.
I voted with my wallet. That's what I did.
And your lack of use of your wallet, that's fine. I want to talk about consoles.
Okay.
And their pluses, because that's actually what I originally wanted to talk about. So obviously, I've watched some of your videos. You have a very big problem with consoles.
Not really the consoles, but the console fanboys. Like, I love the PS3, I love the Wii, hate the 360. But it's the console fanboys, the console fanboys that do all the arguing, and the ones that call me up on Skype all the time to argue with me. Those are the ones I have a problem with.
What did they argue?
Some of them say, well, since you guys have Steam sales, we have ways of getting cheap games too. We can buy them used.
Okay. Do you not think used games are valid?
When you're talking about piracy, console fanboys talk about piracy a lot and how bad piracy is on the PC. When piracy on the PC, number one, the developers don't make money. Number two, the publisher doesn't make money. But it's the same for the used game market as well. You work at GameStop. Your company makes money off of used games. Your company would rather sell a used game than a new game.
Right, of course, because it's making us money.
Yeah, because it's making you money.
But that game was bought from somewhere. It's not like it's just retail. It's not like the game wasn't paid for. It's not piracy. Are you equating GameStop?
Let me put it in perspective for you. Let me put it in perspective for you. Piracy. Someone gets a game and they play it. They just download it and they get to enjoy the game. Did the developer make money off of piracy?
No, I mean, if...
Did the publisher make money off of piracy?
No.
Okay, so I go to GameStop and I spend $39.99 on a used game.
Uh-huh.
So, did the developer make money?
No.
Did the publisher make money?
Not there. That's retail.
Did they make money?
Yes, at one point in time they did.
At one point?
Not in the instance where you went to GameStop and bought a used game, but that used game came from somewhere. It's not like they copied the disc, and it's not like GameStop copied it on a blank disc and sold it to you. That's piracy. There's a difference between that and selling a game used. It's like selling it on eBay. You have problems with
you work at GameStop.
Yeah.
How many times do you think a single game will cycle through a GameStop?
A single game?
Yeah, like just a single game.
More than once, probably.
Okay, so that's more than once that the developer and the publisher do not make money off of the game that they have built and released because people are buying used games instead and making money for Gamestop.
There's no problem with selling used games and buying used games.
I'm not saying there is. I'm just saying it's the same thing as piracy because the publisher and the developer aren't making money.
That's ridiculous. I've never heard that in my... Okay. So anyway, you're saying that it's like, okay, if I buy a used chair, does it hurt the chair company?
Well, you do realize that a chair probably costs like $1 to make.
Yeah, and disc costs like $4. You know, to copy a disc, it probably takes about $4.
How much do you think the developers spent to make the game?
They get millions. They get millions to billions. It just depends on what game it is.
And you're comparing that to a chair that costs like $1?
Well, I'm not really. I'm talking about buying used. I'm not talking about I'm talking about buying used. That's what I meant. Like I'm just using that as an analogy for buying used things. It's not wrong to buy, or it's not hurting a company just because you sell something used.
Well, let me just explain something to you real quick. Used games, it has the same effect as piracy.
No, it doesn't.
But here's a big difference. Piracy on the PC can actually be used to make money for the developer and the publisher.
What?
Yes.
Wait, you said piracy on the PC can make money for the publisher and developer?
Yes, and let me explain to you how that works. The publishers and developers, they'll release a key. There's several websites you can go to and simply buy a key for your game. By pirating the game, you save them the trouble of having to host the file and transfer the file to you. So with them releasing a key for like $20, $30, that's pure profit. And all I have to do is share that profit with the website.
And you're talking about you downloading an illegal copy of a game and then using a key that you buy. What does that have to do with used games?
I'm telling you how it's different than the used game market.
So you're saying that
the used game market can be used to make money for the developer or publisher, but piracy on the PC can.
You're saying that piracy on the consoles can't make money for the developer.
It can make money for the developer. You all just buy a key.
No, I'm talking about on the consoles. Whereas on the consoles, you don't make money when pirating.
Well, the developers' attempts to... one thing that they just brought up was online passes. They also have online passes. So that's one way they make money on the consoles, you know, for buying a used game. And that costs them nothing.
Alright, so if you're correct and people can download illegal copies of games and then apply a key to them to unlock the full game, why are consoles so popular?
Well, why do you think consoles are so popular? You're the one that's here to defend the consoles, so you tell me why you think they're so popular.
Ease of use.
Well, ease of use depends on person to person.
No, I think it's pretty general that it's really easy to just buy an Xbox or a PS3 and plug it up to the wall and play it.
Okay, you can do the same for a PC. Are you using a PC right now?
Yeah.
Is that hard?
No.
No? Okay.
But that's not my point. My point was actually going to get the thing, right? So you go to GameStop and you want to play, or here, let me put it a little differently. You want to play video games, and that's all you want to do. You want to buy something so that you can buy video games. So with an Xbox 360 or a PS3 or a Wii, all you have to say is, all right, what do I want? Which one do I want? What has the games that are that I like, and then buy it. With a PC, you have to worry about what mouse fits my hand and has a good DPI, and what's a good price for a mouse. What keyboard fits my grubby fat PC gaming Cheeto licking fingers. What graphics card will support a game, and which graphic card will not work for like GTA 4, which is horrible on the PC.
Yeah, it's so horrible that they have realistic graphic mods on there.
I'm not talking about realistic graphics mods. I'm talking about vanilla GTA 4 is horrible for PC. It's a horrible port.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe when it first came out, but since then it's been quite dandy running a game over at 60 frames per second and having modded campaigns and modded graphical and texture advances on there.
So you're saying that gamers should wait to play their games until developers come out with a patch or a fix to fix their shit?
Well, it doesn't really require the developers to do it. Some of the gaming community on the PC can fix it themselves, and they release the fix.
Or maybe I don't have the right graphics card, and I need to go get a new graphics card, and that costs maybe $200 to play GTA 4 like ever.
My graphics card was made pre-2008, and all my PC parts were pre-2008, and I still play everything at over 60 frames per second. I still have no jaggies. I get ×6, ×4, ×8. I got anthroposcopics. I got dynamic shadows. I got high quality textures, and I haven't updated my PC in over 4 years. And by the way, I've never heard any console supporter talking about a mouse that fits their hand.
No, I meant PC people. The guys who want to go, the guys who want to play video. What I was saying before was, a guy wants to play video games, and so what does he do? He goes to either get a Wii, PS3, whatever's on the market, Xbox 360, and with a PC you have to worry about what's right for me, what hardware is right for me. I have to worry about what hardware I'm getting. You know, I can't get a shitty Dell and expect to play everything on high graphics settings.
It's a
Dell. Okay, fine.
A Dell is the cheapest you can get. That's why it's in every library and every school across America.
Okay, so I should build my own computer.
If you want to, sure.
All right. So what you're saying is it does require a little bit of know-how and skill to say what PC is good for me.
Not really. Like I built my PC like early 2008. I have never built a PC before. I didn't know anything about zip pops. All I did was ask a friend, "Hey, put me together a rig." He said, "Okay," and I ordered the parts and I put it together myself. I didn't require any help, and I had no previous knowledge of how to put it together.
Okay, some people don't want to deal with that. Some people just want to come home from a long day of work and turn on their Xbox 360, pop in a game, and play it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But didn't you just say people go to GameStop and they ask the people, well, what's best for me? Some people don't want to deal with that.
it's a lot easier. Well, the people who don't want to deal with that obviously don't want to deal with a PC and getting a PC, because then you have to ask a whole bunch of other questions.
Well, what's stopping you from going to a place like Fry's Electronics and just saying, hey, I need you guys to put together a gaming PC for me?
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that place. You're from Dallas?
Yes, I'm from Dallas.
I'm from Manhattan, so I don't know what that place is. We don't have that here.
Or you can go to Newegg. There's plenty of builds out there that you can just find and just order the parts and put it together.
Right, and I'm saying that some people don't want to put together a computer. Some people want to go to the store and buy.
Okay, well you can order one from online then. Just order a gaming PC. There's a place called Cyber something. I forget what it's called, like Cyber Connect or something like that.
They're too much money.
Too much money.
I mean, yeah. You think let's compare. Let's compare an Xbox 360 and versus the cost of a gaming PC that has top of the line things right now. And by the way,
but let me ask you: do you need top of the line?
Okay, fine, not top.
My stuff is from pre-2008. Is that top of the line?
How much did you spend on it?
I only remember the total cost, and everything together that I had bought that day was like $1,500.
Right. So that's a lot more expensive than getting an Xbox.
Yeah, but I bought things I didn't really need just for PC gaming. I bought it for multiple purposes. I wanted to also edit videos. I wanted to do, high definition rendering. That's all. That takes some power.
So if people want to do that, if people want to use a system specifically not for gaming, then they can buy a computer. Yeah, sure, that's valid, fine.
If you want a PC just for gaming, you can probably spend like $400 and you'll make a good one.
$400? Yeah. I'm gonna have to ask you to put together a computer for me, because $400 is pretty cheap. By the way, Xbox 360 is $160, so that's still.
How much was it at launch?
Bucks. How much was it at launch?
How much was the PS3 at launch?
Somewhere around 250 to 300.
How many Xbox 360s have people gone through? How many are your games when they first come out?
60. I mean, yeah, but I've been through. By the way, I've been through one Xbox. But see,
so you've had to buy 2 Xbox 360s to play the same games.
No, I meant I bought an Xbox 360. I just have one Xbox 360 that I've had, and I've had no problems with it.
How long have you had it?
A really long time.
You're a very lucky individual. It must have been blessed with holy water.
Right. As I said, upgrading hardware and buying hardware for the PC is less cost efficient than just buying a pre-built Xbox 360 or PS3.
How many years have you had your 360?
More than 3. I think I've had it since it came out. Since it came out.
So you've probably spent like $350 on your 360 when it first came out.
Yeah. And so that's still $50 less than...
And you've had Xbox Live for how many years?
I had it for a couple of years. I don't have it anymore.
Oh, you don't have it anymore? You have an Xbox 360 and you don't have Xbox Live?
No.
No? So I guess you don't play online then?
I play online PC. See, this is the thing. I own an Alienware that I paid $3,300 for. And it's still shit. But I mean, I'm sorry. Are you gonna say that Alienware is shit?
I'm sorry. Alienware.
Are you gonna say that Alienware is shit?
Yes.
Alright.
Yes. Alienware is like, The worst.
Okay.
You can build an Alienware computer on your own for about probably 60 to 70% less than what they're charging you.
Right. So, but the thing is, when I bought it, I wasn't poor, so I didn't care. I just customized the options online, and that was it. I had it shipped out to me.
Well, why couldn't you just get one from a place that wouldn't cheat you? That would have been a little bit smarter.
Because I had a lot of money and I didn't care.
But you work at Gamestop. How do you have that much money to spend $3,000 on a PC?
Let's not talk about that. So, I guess what I'm getting at is, or what I want to come back to is ease of use. Do you agree that instead of having to fix problems like Borderlands having shitty FOV and having to go into the INI to fix that, or going to what was the game that you said that you changed the INI settings to and it ran fine?
I've done that with GTA, I've done it with Mass Effect, I've done it for Alice Madness Returns.
Right, people don't want to do that. They want to pop in their disc and they want to sit down and play.
Well,
the majority of people.
People can't double click an icon and change like fonts.
I'm not saying that people can't do it. I'm not saying that people can do it. Somebody has a long day at work and they don't want to deal with that shit. They don't want to deal with a computer. They've worked on the PC all day. They come home and they want to sit down and just play their damn Xbox. They don't want to deal with any problems like installing and then it breaking or anything.
Okay, they want to play their Xbox and not have to worry about it breaking. Really?
I meant during the install process. I mean, technology. I'm saying any console can break. It doesn't have to be Xbox. What I'm saying, it can be like PS3.
So you have to install a game every time you want to play it on the PC?
Yeah.
Each and every time you want to play it, you have to install it. Other than,
I mean, there's going to be an install process one way or another. Yeah.
Just once. Just once, like on the Xbox and like on the PS3, all you have to do is install it just once.
Okay.
Okay.
There's so what you're saying is there's no problem with consoles.
If you're talking about having to install games on the PC, you have to do the same thing on 360 and PS3.
You do?
Yes.
I was under the impression that I could just put in the disc and play the game.
No.
Or I mean, install and then play the game.
And don't forget your patches too.
I'm sorry, not install.
You can't play a game unless you got your patches.
But that applies to PC as well. There's plenty of games that require PCs or patches.
My games, I can play without having to patch them. I don't have to patch them. And plus, my Steam games patch by themselves.
What game don't you have to patch?
Anything I don't have connected to maybe a service, I don't have to patch.
Right, and so you have...
I've had Mass Effect 2 since it came out on the PC, and I've never patched that thing. But patches have come out for it, but I never had to patch it. On the consoles, you have to patch it. You have to patch it.
Why is that a problem? You've got bugs that need fixing.
Because if you can't,
so what you're saying is patching is now a bad thing, is what you're saying.
No, patches are good things, but what you're saying is that people don't want to come home and have to deal with installs. But what about the people who have to come home and have to deal with a patch they have to download first, and a patch that then has to install, and then they can finally play their games after having a long day at work? On the PC, you install the game once, Steam updates your games automatically, and you will never have to deal with a patch.
But Steam automatically patches your games. So it doesn't matter what you're on, you always deal with patches. Patches are not a problem.
I don't deal with patches. Patches don't stop me from playing my games.
So patches aren't problems.
I mean, they are for consoles, but not for the PC.
When you download a game on Steam, it automatically patches. Do you own TF2?
Yes, I do. Everyone does. It's free.
Right. So there's been plenty of updates and patches to that game.
Yeah,
and you have to download.
You don't have to download them. It automatically does it.
Right. So when you pop in the disc into an Xbox 360, it automatically makes you patch. It's the same thing.
You can't play your game unless you patch it. Which means you have to sit there and wait for your game to patch first.
Right. So you have to sit there and wait for the game to patch on the PC. You have to sit and wait for the download to take place on the PC.
No, you don't.
Also, yes, you do. It takes time to download something.
It does it by itself. You won't even realize when it does it unless you're actually looking at your Steam program.
So it's a matter of you not looking at it. It's still happening.
Even now, I could go... Actually, the other day, there was a new patch for Left 4 Dead 2. I didn't have it, but I was still playing online. Can you do that on the consoles?
I'm not understanding. You were playing Left 4 Dead and it had a patch, but you were still playing online?
Yes.
Yeah, if a new patch comes out, it won't kick you off. It works the same way the PC does.
If you don't have your game patched on the consoles, you cannot play your game. That's the difference. That is the difference.
If you don't have it doesn't kick you off if you are playing the game on the PC, dude. I mean on the console.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
You're talking to someone that's gamed on 360, PS3, and Wii.
If a patch comes out for it, it's not going to kick you off. Like it doesn't kick you off for the PC. It doesn't kick you off for the Xbox 360.
If you don't patch your game on the Xbox 360, you ain't gonna be playing that game online.
That's before you play the game. That's before
you ain't gonna be playing that game. Period.
That's before you play the game. Like you can't play on servers on TF2 if you don't download the patch for it first.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. It doesn't let you play on any secure servers if after server updates and you patch your game, it patches your game.
You know, there's thousands of servers out there.
Right, and not all of them.
You don't need to play on the official. If it's such a problem, even if it works the way that you say it does, you don't have to play on official servers.
It doesn't matter whether it's an official server or not. It gives you a message when you try to connect to any server. This server is running a different version of the game, and then it doesn't allow you to play on the server.
So play on a different server.
In addition, if you didn't download the patch for the game that day, and the server is running a higher version, it's not going to allow you to play the game on that server.
So play a different server.
With nobody on it? What about what about let me not go into that. So
I think this subject has gotten a little redundant.
Okay, so what about discs versus downloads? You can't play any game if you don't have an internet connection, whereas on the Xbox 360 or the PS3 you can just buy a game disc and play it. What's the problem there?
What if you have a game that requires a certain firmware for your console and you don't have it?
It makes you update it on the disc. It has the update on the disc.
So all the games have updates on the disc?
Every single one that I've put in that needs, it says it needs a yes.
And on the PC, you don't have to be connected to the internet to play games either.
No, I'm saying like with Steam, you have to download all your games.
Okay, so?
So you need to be connected to the internet to download those games.
Yes, to download them, but there's also a retail market for PC games as well.
Yeah, my store has literally one shelf of it's actually really depressing. We have one shelf in the corner of the store.
I don't care what GameStop has. I don't shop at
Walmart.
GameStop.
Walmart has like one tiny little shelf now. I mean, it doesn't matter. Retail has...
Really? Because I can go over to the Walmart right down the street and take a picture, and there's a huge shelf full of PC games of quite the variety.
Not as big as what you have on the Xbox 360 and PS3 and Wii.
The Xbox 360 section is about this big, from here to here.
I don't see you. I haven't been watching you.
You guys know what it looks like at Walmart. I don't even have to even explain it to you guys.
Alright.
But yes, there's retail copies of games for PC games still. If you want a retail copy, get a retail copy.
So, what's the problem then with just buying the retail copy of a console game and playing it on the console?
I never said there was no problem with that. You're
You're
the one that opened that that discussion.
Right, so there's no problem with playing games on the consoles. There's no real detriment to playing them on the consoles.
Well, when you're on the console like the Xbox 360, there kind of is a problem there.
Are you talking about the experience? Because I was talking about just playing the game from the standpoint of putting in the disc and being able to play. Of course, a game runs completely different, like an FPS runs completely different than it does on a PC to an Xbox 360. Like, that's really... if you compare the two side by side, the Xbox 360 people who are waving their joysticks around look fucking retarded. But compared to a PC where you have full range of motion. But I'm talking about just from the standpoint of putting in the disc and being able to play, consoles are easier. And because that's attractive...
Well, that depends on the person, really. Unless you have, you know, done one of those consensus things where you've interviewed every person in America that's a gamer or around the world. But there are some problems that arise by playing games on the consoles, and I didn't want to get into this before because it's probably useless explaining this to you, but there's a lot of things that go on in the EULA on the consoles that just ain't right, and that's one of the biggest problems I have with the consoles.
What,
especially with EA, Sony, and Microsoft.
The game developers, you have to agree to the EULA when you do that on the PC as well.
PC gamers have made EA change their EULA.
Where is that?
Just look it up.
Look it up.
Just look it up. EA had to change Origin's EULA.
We're talking about Origin. I thought we were talking about games. Of course, I mean, EULA...
EULA.
EULAs change all the time.
On the consoles, the companies are allowed to take any information you put on your console and use it any way they desire. They can sell it to another company. They can charge your credit card or debit card. Even if you take it off of there, even if the card doesn't work, they can still charge you.
It's the same with Origin.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Origin can scan. Origin scans files.
Steam scans files too.
Okay.
Scanning files is not really that big of a deal. They're just looking at what programs you have, and they're making a charts.
So it takes information.
Yes, but I don't care if they know what graphics card I have. That information is not important to me.
Right, but if you put in your information, your credit card information is Steam, they do save that information. If you tell them to save that information, it does save that information.
But here's the difference.
Same with Xbox 360.
Here's the difference. On the PC, here's the biggest difference about the PC and the consoles. The console market is not as regulated as the PC market. On the PC, we're dealing with a lot more regulations that protect us, the users, than you have on the consoles. Which is why on the consoles, they can basically do whatever the hell they want. On the PC, they can't. Microsoft can't even update your Windows operating system if they want to. It's all your choice. Now, when it comes to their own little service like Origin or Steam, yeah, you do have to update that. That's the only thing you don't have a choice with, is keeping that certain program up to date.
All right.
Because what they're doing is allowing you to download games and play them through their service.
Right. So going back to ease of use, it's easier just to put in a disc and play it.
According to who?
Are you saying that it's easier to set up a bunch of programs on the computer and have to go through updates and updates? And
all right, you tell me which one is easier. Let me just lay it out for you. You tell me which one is easier. Oh, Tropico 4 Modern Times on Steam. I want to download this and buy it. Click, purchase, download. Play. Oh, there's a game I want to get at Gamestop. Drive to the store. Shop for the game.
The game.
Have to deal with GameStop employees bickering about pre-order this, pre-order that. Would you like to get a warranty on this, warranty on that?
That's just retail. I mean, that's the same kind of advertising.
Then you have to drive home.
Oh no.
And then you get to play your game if your console is up to date and if there isn't a patch already out for the game.
Right. It's the exact same thing for PC. You have to download updates. You have to update your computer.
I just sat here
Hardware.
and made a couple of clicks, and my game is downloading, and I'm getting ready to play it. Right. Well, you have to go out and get the game, and you're saying that's easier than just double-clicking an icon, click and it's done. Click and it's done.
It's a bit easier to download games on Steam than go to retail, sure. That's counting on if the user has internet connection. What I was saying was that it's nice to be able to just go to the store, buy the game for your console, and then put it in and play it.
Okay, yeah, that's nice and dandy.
So, I mean, would you agree that that's pretty easy to do?
It's not easier than game on the PC.
How?
What's easier? Having to drive to the store and buy a game, or simply making a couple clicks with your mouse?
But dude, it's not that simple. As I said, you have to worry about what kind of hardware you have versus the compatibility of the game.
Like I said, my hardware is from pre-2008. Am I worrying about what's compatible or not compatible?
Right,
I'm playing everything.
That's you, man.
I'm playing everything.
That's you.
Yeah, you can make your own experience. If you're worried about stuff, clearly you're not smart enough to do something right.
So it's about people being smart and not smart?
Well, you guys always talk about how things are, this is easier, this is done for me, I don't want to have to deal with that, when it's just a one-time thing and you're done. And then it's just like strolling down the yellow brick road. You're just having a grand old time.
No, I don't think it's that easy. You have to update a lot of stuff on the computer. And yeah, sure, you have to update a lot of stuff on the console. That's done. That's done. Well, I
what do you have to update on the computer?
.NET, Steam. Let's see.
It does that on its own.
Let me just check my right. So that does it.
So I don't have to update anything. It does it by itself.
Okay. How about DirectX drivers?
It does that on its own.
Your drivers update by itself.
My drivers update by themselves through Windows Update.
Right. So that's you. Okay.
So you're saying someone can't set their thing to automate using 2 clicks of their mouse because that is too hard?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it is easy, and I do it too. That's really easy for me. But well, hold on, I have to minimize somebody who's really annoying me. All right. What I'm saying that it's easier to just go to the what I'm saying is that it's easier to just pop in a disc and fucking play the game that you want to play.
But on the PC, you save the trouble having to pop in a disc by just double-clicking an icon and playing your game. So it's still easier.
It's not the same thing. You have to update loads of shit, man.
Okay, you have to update things on the consoles too.
Not the same way. Not in the same...
Yeah, except for us, it's automatic. Except with on the PC, it saves you the trouble of having to actually do anything.
You don't have to do anything on the... What do you mean? What do you mean in terms of updating the console? What do you mean?
Look, let me explain something to you. On the console, if you play one game for a while, you know, that might be up to date, but when you get a new update, you can't play the game until you update it. Then you'll try a different game. Oh, there's an update you haven't gotten for the last 3 months that you haven't played the game, so you have to update that. And then, oh, here's another game that you haven't played in a while, or here's a new one that has a day 1 patch because the developers crapped up on the game.
That has to do with the developers.
But,
yeah.
On the PC, you don't have to do anything. All your games will update by themselves. Everything will update by themselves. You don't have to do anything.
You're talking about Steam and stuff?
Steam, your operating system, your drivers, all can be automated.
You have to update your OS. I'm sure you've upgraded since Windows XP.
I have Windows 7, yes.
Right. So you had to do that.
Oh, okay.
Right, that's not really...
And you had to get a new console, didn't you? You went from Xbox to Xbox 360 or PS2 to PS3, didn't you?
Yeah, but that's a little different than installing an OS on the same computer.
You don't have to install new OS. People still use Windows XP.
Right, and you have viruses and shit doesn't work all the time.
Viruses... Okay, there's free virus software. There's AVG. Okay. Those protect you
completely from everything. So the new Xbox experience was completely automatic. XP to 7 wasn't. It's not like you had to update, or it's not that. You had to install the new Windows 7 OS on your Xbox 360. You just buy a new Xbox 360 and that was it. You got to join the experience. That was it.
You still had to update. You had to go from Xbox to Xbox 360. You had to go from GameCube to Wii. You had to go to PS2 to PS3.
Right, just like you have to update your hardware on the PC.
If you want to.
If you don't, you'll be missing out on the latest and greatest graphics and sound.
I haven't updated my PC in over 4 years. Am I missing out? No.
But that's you, man. I keep saying that's you. It's a very individual thing with the PC, and for the consoles, it's one thing. It's you got an Xbox 360 and that's it. You don't have to worry about anything else.
I have gone through 3 Xbox 360s.
I'm so sorry.
just to play Xbox 360 games.
Right, and I haven't, and I'm sure somebody watching probably hasn't either. He's probably had a...
And I'm about to be on my second PS3 as well, if I don't get my original one fixed.
That's too bad.
So you're comparing having to upgrade your operating system, which you don't really need to do because
no hardware. That's what I meant.
Okay.
It may be running fine for you. I know that you've had all your stuff.
It's up to the person whether or not they want to upgrade their PC or not.
And it's up to the person whether they want to get a PS3 versus a PS2.
Okay, but if you want to play PS3 games, you have to get a PS3.
Right, and if you want to play Battlefield 3, you can't be using a really old graphics card.
You can just play it on low.
I'm pretty sure that it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it does.
No, no, it doesn't work that way. If I have an IBM computer from 1995, I cannot play Battlefield 3 by simply upgrading stuff in it. It doesn't work like that.
Well, you can't play Wii games on an NES.
I'm not talking about going. But wait, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about buying. I was talking about buying something new, and it's just easier to buy a console that's new and then play the games on the console. And it's the consumer's choice whether they buy it or not.
Yeah, it depends on the person. So I don't know what the point is for saying that. Basically, what you've been telling me is that if you don't want to have to do anything to make a good experience, just buy a console and take what's being fed to you.
Right. Well, my computer is overheating, so I need to go right now.
Are you what? You're using an Xbox 360?
To talk to you over does Xbox 360? I'm sorry, being a worker at GameStop, I have no idea what goes on in the gaming industry.
And what was the point of that private message you sent me? Like, you said like I work at GameStop. Like that was gonna.
My friend told me to mention that. If
I am an assistant manager at GameStop, so we're required to know about these kind of things. Yet you haven't shown me that you've known much of anything this entire time.
I think I have. I think I've proven a few points in terms of ease of use, in terms of PCs having to do a little more work, if not a lot more work, than buying a console and just playing on a console. I think I've done those things, and so I'm content with that.
Okay.
Thank you for talking to me.
Let me put something in perspective for you.
Okay.
There was someone.
Make it quick. I have to go in like 3 minutes, man.
There was someone in your very same seat called Shipshore who was debating me about this very same thing. Well, not the same thing, but he was talking about Xbox Live, Steam, PSN, stuff like that. And I told him all the great things about the PC. I broke it down to him. And then after the whole debate, he went and got himself a PC. This was a kid. He ordered the parts and put it together himself, simply from me encouraging him and showing him how great the PC was.
You changed the world.
Let me finish. I'm not talking about changing the world. I'm not Captain Planet or a Planeteer. Okay? This was a kid. And you're saying that you and other people, grown people, can't learn to do something new to make a good experience for yourself. because you don't want to learn, you don't want to, quote-unquote, go through the trouble, because you simply can go out and buy a pre-packaged experience that a certain company will determine for you.
Yeah, if that was an issue, there wouldn't be a huge market for the Xbox 360 and for the PS3. There would not be a massive market, much more than there is for PC, by the way.
Oh, really?
The market is a lot bigger than PC's market.
The market is bigger. Okay, well, if that's what you think, that's just fine and dandy.
Okay, I'll try and get something to you about that. By the way, it is. I know that for a fact that it's bigger, and I'll try and get you something about that. I have to go. It's been great talking to you. I'd love to talk again sometime, actually.
Okie dokie.
All right. By the way, I have, as I said, I have a PC. I have about 3 of them. One at my apartment here in college, and 2 at home.
The one that's overheating, right?
It wasn't really overheating. I was just making a joke. And the only game that I have for the Xbox 360 is Catherine. So I am not a console gamer. I just...
So you've had a 360 since it launched, and you only have 1 game for it.
No, I lied about that too. I just bought it, or my friend gave me the Xbox, actually.
So you came into a debate to lie and make up things.
Absolutely.
This is the people you see in the Gamestop, people.
Yeah. So
this is GameStop. Remember this when you go there and get your pre-orders.
Yep. We do lie to you.
Well, we know that.
Wait, when did we lie?
Well, you just said that.
Man, we don't lie. That's a lie.
Well, then why'd you say that you do lie to us?
I didn't say that.
You just said that.
No, I didn't. What are you talking about?
And he's done.
Alright. It's been great talking to you, man.
You too. Have a good day.
Alright, you too.
Oh, man. That was quite bad. I feel kind of sorry for the guy. And what did his message say? Let me pull that up one more time. Subject of the message: you are so wrong, I don't even know where to start. Hello, I've watched your videos and obviously you don't know anything about what you are talking about when it comes to video games. I'm an assistant manager at GameStop, so we're required to know about these kind of things. I'm up for a debate if you would like. You can email me or PM me here, or just hit me up on my gamer tag, Xbox, you know, blah blah blah. See you around, loser. Well, interesting indeed. And you see, I didn't really have to say much, did I? It all depends who I'm talking to. Well, that was fun. Sounded just like Review Tech USA and Shipshore and Angelo and Mike from 3 Kilobytes. So nothing I heard before. And yes, this was indeed recorded. I was going to